What's up, fams? It's your boy DJ Noiz. I just touched down in Las Vegas. Big shout out to Polynesian music. Yo, so pretty much if you know me, my family went to LDS, Church of Latter-day Saints, Jesus Christ. And we weren't allowed to listen to no rap music growing up. Back then there was no profanity in music that was allowed played in our household. My parents were big fans of island music, 80s, 90s, even back to the 60s and 70s, showing me classics and stuff. And as a kid, like that's all we'd be listening to on repeat. And then pretty much I thought, okay, what could I do to make pretty much listen to softcore like hip hop in front of my parents? Came up with the blends, and me and my brother and my sisters would be like rapping or singing like top 40 songs that were on the radio during the time we grew up, mixing it in with the classics that pretty much my mom and dad were listening to, from island music to the 80s and 90s. And then I think that was the only way we could play and keep up to date with pretty much the social music and everything that you heard on radio or saw on TV. I thought, okay, we got the mashups, we got the blends, what can we do to like merge it together so we can get it onto like a track? And I started remixing on cassette tapes when I was little. Yeah, and then I just remember like making my first remix and showing my siblings, and we're like, okay, let's play in front of mom and dad. And that was the only way we could listen to like hip hop music and pop music back then. I was mashing it up with their favorite songs that we could listen to. And from there I thought, okay, maybe I should like try and mix music. Became a DJ from there on. My main influence was my dad, because he had a proper musical background. My dad would play in bands, like as you know, island social bands. Would go from brass band to like Samoa social bands, Siva Samoa band. My love for instruments came from that side from my dad. Growing up, the era I was growing up, we heard of Fresh Off the Boat. Big shout out to DJ Tickles and Peter Guns. When they came out with blends, mashup blends, it was pretty much what I was doing as a hobby. But then knowing that these guys made it into a profession, put out classics, bro, like that was the only way you could keep up to date. Before there was any internet, you could keep up to date with what was popping off in the islands, in America, in New Zealand, like pretty much overseas. And I think it would have to be them, Fresh Off the Boat and my dad. For me, the engagement with the audience is a huge thing, because bro, if you don't engage with like even at least one member of the audience, it's just gonna be like a flatline show the whole way through. It's just pretty much not only catering to our fan base, but also wanting to cater to the new listeners so that they can like check out our catalog and stuff. And for me, pretty much just engaging in with our audience, to the people that showed us love and support, pretty much cater to them and keep that energy going. I remember uploading my first ever remix on YouTube when YouTube had just come out in 2005. And then at the same time, MP3 ringtones were just like the new thing trending in school. So I remember I would always try to keep up and make a remix, and then like having no idea that I would get to where I'm at like this day. People started like sharing it around, whether it was Bluetooth, email, and it became from ringtones to like uploading to flash boxes for Bebo, MySpace back in the early days. And then yeah, I remember being like, when my family were like, oh bro, you're famous. But I was like known to the islanders at an early stage of remixing, that I didn't really take it serious. It was just like a hobby. Drop a new mix, the latest song, latest acapella, put on the latest reggae song. And then years down the road, I met Fortify, who linked me up with Kenyon Brown, Donnell Lewis, my manager Mark Martins. And then we evolved from there and started taking remixing into producing. And that's how I produced my first single with the boys, Senorita, featuring my Toko Connects. Big shout out to my Toko Connects, who also gave me Offer Mai. And that was when I saw like, okay, this can be a thing. We made Offer Mai drop. We dropped it as a hobby, not even a single. We were just like, okay, we'll just upload it. Out of nowhere, it went viral. And then we came out with Senorita, Chill, and many more bangers after that, like bangers on bangers, bro. And I think, yeah, that's where it took off, and we just started, you know, branching out to a family. Like sister Bina Butter, brother Relic Brown. We just kept it in the family and just kept pushing work. Man, being a Samoan, half Tongan, big shout out to my mom's family in Vava'o. But I think for us, any Polynesian island, music is like one of, if not one of the top points in our culture. And I think being a Polynesian, you learn every single bit of music there is, whether it's from lyrics, from songwriting to composing to making beats, even just having the talent playing an instrument, whether it's for church, family, or even just like for the drink-ups with the boys. So for me, that's the biggest proud thing that I have being a Polynesian. For next gen, pretty much with my platform, bro, I just love sharing. Like I remember coming up when I started in the early days, no one would share, even if I'd reach out to big names, not that I can remember, but there would be some artists that would reach out and they'll be like, oh, he's just a fan, yeah, or give me the scene. For now, when I get artists hitting me up, I always give that like minute of the day just to check out their catalog, like, share, or even just as little as a comment of encouragement. And yeah, I've tapped in with a lot of producers and DJs that are on the come up. and have been willingly offering if they like need, whether it's studio kits or studio equipment and stuff. I just like giving them a heads up just to make the road easier for what we went through. Ooh, we got a whole bunch of singles coming out. Me and Kenyon Brown got some works in with Donnell Lewis. But yes, I've got a lot of collabs on the way. But pretty much just a lot of singles coming out soon. And once we get home from this US tour, you're just gonna see them drop back to back. Cuz, One Night Dance, we just dropped it. Go stream it, run it up on all platforms, baby.